present to you about Portuguese vernacular colonial architecture, which we see in Fontainhas, situated in the erstwhile Portuguese India. Let's first talk about the history of Portuguese India. The first Portuguese encounter with the subcontinent was on 20th May 1498 when Vasco da Gama reached Calicut on the Malabar coast. The first viceroy, Francisco de Almeida, established his headquarters at what was then Cochin, the present-day Fort Cochin. Subsequent Portuguese governors were not always of viceroy rank. After 1510, the capital of Portuguese viceroyalty was transferred to Velhas Conquistas, Old Conquests area of the present-day Goa and Damau, that is Daman and Diu. Its geographical location, Fontainhas or Bairro das Fontainhas, is the oldest Latin quarter of Panjim, the capital city of state Goa in India. It is similar to a Mediterranean city. Located at the foot of Altinho Hills, it is bounded on the west by the hills with springs from which its name derives. It maintains its Portuguese influence particularly through its architecture and is the only area in Goa where Portuguese is still the main spoken language. Its history. In the late 18th century, a Goan expatriate named Antonio João de Sequeira, who had made his wealth while working in Mozambique, established Fontainhas. The name came from a spring at the foot of the hill, which began to sprout in 1770, and it is patterned along the lines of Lisbon's Bairro Alto. Colonial architecture can be observed in the houses and cottages, illustrated with fluorescence and pastel colors, which reminds of Portuguese residue. The naming of the streets is also similar. In fact, Rua Tristão de Janeiro, that is 31st January Road, is called because Portugal got independence from Spain on that day in 1940. Similarly, 18th June Street is named after getting independence from Portuguese rulers in 1946. Talking about the architecture, the houses are illustrated in shades of green, pale yellow, and blue, along with red colored tiled roofs, artistic doors, oyster shell window panes, intricately designed iron railings, and overhead balconies, which fascinate anyone with the narrow passage and landscape around it. Similar colorful Portuguese colonial architecture can be seen at other places as well, like Angola, Macau, and Brazilian favelas. The features of the houses in Fontainhas are as follows. The door and windows differentiate from one another, similar to the houses that are made of pastel and fluorescent colors. Door ranges from flat arch to circular to semicircular arch, and the arrangement of windows is symmetrical with some ornamentation. It is customary for the houses to have covered porches called balcões and verandas facing the streets, where it is common to see people sit and chat together. The houses of rich landlords had high plinths with grand staircases leading to the front door or balcony. The higher plinths reflect grandeur, a higher status. All Portuguese houses have a bright colored rooster on the top. Rooster is a national symbol of Portugal which symbolizes honesty, integrity, trust, and honor, and is said to bring them good luck. The colored wash on the houses looked decorative and was a sign of economic well being. During Portuguese rule, the owner of the house was supposed to paint the house every year after the monsoon season, and till date this rule is followed. The houses have large ornamental windows made of timber that open in the streets or the veranda. The glass panes were replaced by oyster shells that were found extensively on beaches. The flat ones were shaped and slipped between grooved wooden battens to be installed into windows. Oyster shells keep the houses cool from the tropical heat of this region. Azulejos. The distinctive feature of the houses is also their nameplate made of azulejos ceramic tiles. These tiles are hand painted and made from ceramic, which can have intricate artwork and often are dried at high temperature. We can see some ornamentation on the walls with these azulejos tiles too. Azulejos is a form of Portuguese and Spanish painted tin glazed ceramic tilework. Azulejos are found on the interior and exterior of churches, palaces, ordinary houses, schools, and nowadays restaurants, bars, and even subway stations. The word azulejos is derived from the Arabic and it means polished stone because the original idea was to imitate the Byzantine and Roman mosaics. They are an ornamental art form but also had a specific functional capacity like temperature control in homes. Azulejos constitute a major aspect of Portuguese architecture to this day and are fixtures of buildings across Portugal and its former territories. It has been widely used in Portuguese architecture since 13th century for creating intricate interior and exterior designs. For example, some masterpieces are Igreja de Santa Maria de Marvila, which is a church in Portugal classified as a national monument. Convent of Saint Francis 1702 in Salvador de Bahia in Brazil. Inside the Grace Cathedral of Sao Tome, at Instituto Menezes, Bragança, in former Portuguese colony in India. Azulejo tiles are present in almost every station in the Lisbon metro system at present. This was all about the colonial architecture of Fontainhas and how it has been influenced by the Portuguese architectural features. Thank you.